Hi, my name is Susan James. I'm an assistant principal at Risdon Middle School, and I'm also the athletic director. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Risdon's clubs and athletic programs. After school activities are a great way to get involved with the school, to meet other people, to learn something, and to try out things that maybe you haven't tried before. There are no other costs involved with sports or clubs typically, other than purchasing an ASB card, which is something that helps support our after-school activities. Our clubs and sports meet after school from 2:40 to 4 p.m. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And just so you know, school gets out at 2:35, so it's right after school. Clubs generally meet one day a week, and the club will determine whether they want to meet on a Monday, a Tuesday, or the Thursday. When we're in a sports season, players are expected to attend practices on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and the games will also fall on one of those 3 days. We don't ever have practice and a game on the same day. It'll be one or the other. For all of our students who participate in clubs and athletics, we do have activity buses available for students who do ride the bus. The activity buses will go to all the same neighborhoods that our buses do, but the route is slightly different. They condense some of the stops. So if you're in a club or a sport, you can always catch the activity bus at 4 p.m. after your club activities ended. So a little more about clubs. Clubs are usually student generated and student led, but they all have teacher staff advisors that meet with the clubs. And it's a great way to learn something new, have some fun. Some clubs have more specific goals like robotics, they enter competitions. Some are just to have fun and meet other people or share common interests. And what you see below are some of the clubs that we had in the 1920 school year. We have sports that go on throughout the school year at Risdon. There are 4 distinct seasons, and we compete against the other middle schools, typically playing each of those other schools twice, once at home and once away. There often is a jamboree activity at the very start of the season, so it'll be like a mini game against all the schools. It'll be in one location. Wrestling and track are no-cut sports. There are cuts with the other sports, however. There's only a certain number of students that we can have on the team, both for the safety of supervision, for WIAA rules as well. So boys and girls soccer, that's our first season in the fall. November through January is boys and girls basketball. January through March is wrestling and girls volleyball, and wrestling is one of those non-cut sports. And then finally, April through June is track and flag football. I will let you know that wrestling, we have girls who wrestle on our team as well. The daughter of our wrestling coach actually has placed at the state level in high school when she wrestled. So we welcome everybody to join and learn about wrestling. It's a fun activity. The other one that is no cut is track. And that's a great one if you've never run track because there's such a variety of events and everybody gets to participate, everybody gets to run and compete in their events. So think about sports if you've never tried that before. With athletics, you might have a lot of questions right now. How do I register? Are physicals required? Are there any sports fees? Are there any other requirements? When are practices held? I've already answered when practices are held, which is Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of these questions on the next slide. So one of the places you can get your athletic questions answered is on the Risdon Middle School Athletics tab for the website. There is information about registration. We use an online system called Family ID, and all students, when they want to try out for a sport, their parents need to register using Family ID online. We will have a lot in our weekly newsletters that go home. And the other thing to know for middle school is that while physicals are not required, we do encourage you to do that if at all possible, so we can make sure that our athletes are in the best shape possible. The school does provide a basic uniform for all of our sports, and students are responsible for those. And we'll also have information on deadlines, and we have a parent meeting before each sports season to communicate a lot of this information. The other place you can go to if you have questions about athletics is the district tab for athletics. And the link for that site is right below the title in this slide. There is information about sports schedules, forms to fill out if you'd like to be an athletic volunteer, which before you do that, please connect with the coach first to see if they have space for volunteers, and any other big picture district questions are answered on their site. It's another good resource to know that it's there. I haven't mentioned this yet, but ASB stands for Associated Student Body. And you might be asking, well, what is that? That means all of our students in the school as a group. It's also an official term recognized by state organizations as well at schools all across the country. And all ASB activities, whether they're sports or clubs, are for students and by students. And all of the funding raised through ASB events goes 100% back to the students. So it's a great way that student activities kind of pay for themselves, offer a lot of activities. And at Risdon, some of our activities include school dances. We usually have about 3 per year. We have several pep assemblies and spirit days, which are always a lot of fun. Our student government is called a student senate, and they have a representative from each classroom that gets elected at the classroom level that attends a once-a-month meeting. That's a 1-period meeting to help participate in our student government. We rely on our senators to bring back information from their individual classroom and also to share out information from the Senate back to the classrooms. We do have an executive board, and that is made up of a president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and we have a 6th and a 7th grade representative as well. The one that we're mentioning here is the 6th grade representative, and we'll have an election for that person early on in the fall. And that person represents the whole of the 6th grade on the executive board with the other officers. We have other events such as our March Madness Reading Challenge, and that's our Fine trophy. We compete for that every year. And we have separate events for each grade level. In the 6th grade, we usually have a fantastic field day. Obviously this year we had to postpone it, but it's a whole lot of fun. It's something to look forward to. It's in June at the end of the year. We have a lot of parent chaperones that come and volunteer to help us with that. So look forward to that as kind of a nice reward at the end of a school year. We also have a school reward system, and we call it PAWS. What's a PAW? A PAW is a positive action witness, and it's PAWS because we're the Timberwolves as well. Teachers and staff are always looking for students to show that they're curious, capable, courageous, and compassionate, not only as learners, but outside the classroom as well, during passing time, at lunches. And when we witness those moments, teachers and staff have the ability to award you a PAW or maybe more than one PAW. And that will go into an electronic account that you have, and you'll be able to, different teachers have a whole reward system set up. So you'll be able to use those PAWs to get some rewards for yourself for, being the best that you can be with curious, capable, courageous, and compassionate. Again, you'll learn a lot more about this when school starts next year. Another positive recognition program that we have is the Leader of the Pack. These are students who have been exceptional in showing one of the 4 C's: curious, capable, courageous, compassionate. Teachers at each grade level select 4 students per grade level each month representing one of those 4 C's, and that student is recognized and awarded a certificate and a visit from Wolfie, who is our school mascot, when that's awarded. So it's quite an honor. There aren't very many of these given out. Again, just be the best you that you can be, and you'll never know when you're going to get recognized for being that best person that you are. So while we're not able to meet you this spring at our future 6th grader night, we really look forward to seeing you in this fall. All the information, I know you might have a lot of questions, but we'll be able to answer all of those about the activities as they come about during the school year. In the meantime, there's a lot of ways to connect with us. You can look at the Risdon website and kind of explore a little bit about, it'll have a few pictures and show you what's going on. You can also check out our brand new Risdon YouTube channel, and the link is there below. We posted some video bulletins that we just started doing just to connect with students, and we have a couple other videos of events that we've done since the closure to connect with students. And we use Twitter as well. Some of our tweets are in the moment when we're at a concert and we want to share with our families how great the students are performing, things like that. So check out our Twitter account. And lastly, we'll have more information later on in the school year about what we typically hold in August called Wolfpack Days. We're still in that waiting period, but if we are able to hold Wolfpack days like we normally do, one of those days will be for sixth graders only to come into the school, pick up schedules, purchase PE uniforms, get counselors if you have any questions about your schedule, get your picture taken, your school picture. They're there in the summer, and you can even tour the building at that point. Know that Risdon might seem big the very first couple days you're there, but it's full of a lot of great people, both staff and students who are there to help you, and it's going to be a great experience. I cannot wait for you to come to Risdon. My name again was Susan James. I appreciate your time today, and I will see you in the fall.